Okay. Well, here we are. I hope this is working. You guys could let me know if it is. I'm going to try to go in here so I can look at the chat, but I'm not really sure where that shows up in YouTube. So this is the first go at streaming from this new studio. And I know it worked. I streamed from YouTube last time, and I was working on a drawing of Malfoy from Harry Potter, a digital drawing or digital painting, and that video's up on YouTube, so you can check that out to catch up if you would like. But that was the last video that I did in my old studio, and now I'm in this new studio. So been working on this for several months, trying to get this all together, and I am going to put together a video that's going to show the whole process from start to finish. But that's where I am right now, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over here to a bit of a different screen. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I don't know why that isn't showing up here. Like, it's not showing up that I'm streaming, even though I am streaming for the last minute and 30 seconds. Well, I'll just keep my fingers crossed that things are working. And I got my phone set up over here, but I don't know where the chat is. Let me see. I'm trying to turn my phone on its side and look at something that might show me that, but I'm gonna go to my channel. Oh, here we are. There's one person watching. I don't know if that's a real person or if it counts me as a person. Let me go into that and see what happens. If I can enter the next dimension. Ah. Oh. Let me go into that. That is weird. I have a speaker on behind me that just echoed whatever I was just saying. So I'm going to mute that. I think I'm going to go turn that thing off. So it's no longer green screen technology. It's actually I'm actually here in real life. I just walked back into the other part of the room here. So I'm gonna have a hard time typing anything because my phone is like on a weird angle, but I'm gonna go ahead and get into this drawing because, again, this is what I left off with, and I'll just focus on this, and that way when the video is up there, people will be able to enjoy it as as a drawing tutorial, if you will. So if you're out there and you have any questions about anything, let me know. But I just did a little bit of some corrections on this. So you can see here when I flash between the two, there's a layer of blue over the top of this, and this is kind of giving me an idea of where I want to push the drawing. I think what happened last time when I started painting this, I was so concerned with what was going on with the well, that's weird. It's like frozen. Am I frozen? Or is there a delay? I don't know. TV went off in the background. Weird things are happening, but it's showing up like everything is working fine. So let me see if I can. It says minute and 23, but I've been going for much longer than that. I don't know. It's weird. This is weird. Here it says one watching, so I'm gonna get out of there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you're supposed to monitor a chat with YouTube. That's the one thing. Another thing that I wanted to try to figure out, and maybe if I go on it on my second monitor. So let me see if I can go to YouTube, and I'm making a funny face in the preview. I'm gonna have to change that in the little thumbnail. I'm making a goofy face. That's gonna have to go for sure. All right, let me move this over here, and then I'll go to YouTube, And then I'll go to my channel. Would it be in YouTube Studio? Let's see. I am a little bit worried about how hot it is in here already. So we finally got some decent weather, and it got up to about 80 degrees, and it's really hot in here. So air conditioning, I don't know. That's going to have to be a thing, it looks like. And I'm still trying to figure out channel dashboard. Let's see. Go live. Oh, okay. So that's there. There's the live chat. All right, I'm going to go ahead and type something in. I'm going to go ahead and type something in here right now. Hello, self. It's probably breaking some sort of a rule. You're not supposed to say hello to yourself on YouTube when you're streaming, because there's probably a delay anyway. All right, now to the drawing. That's what's important here, I think. That's what we came for. So let's go ahead and make that happen. I'm going to turn my phone off here. And the link. Oh, so let me just put my YouTube channel into my phone. I spelled myself wrong. So if these people are trying to get in here, Diligent Visual on YouTube. Boom. All right. Well, here we are. Back at it again. Keep trying until I figure this out. All right. So let's go ahead and what I wanted to focus on today was really trying to clean up these shadow shapes. I want to use pretty much the same color scheme that I had going on here. I got a bit of a larger brush this time. So I'm going to pick up some of this tone and just lay it in here over this blue, which is a little bit weird. Actually, I don't hate the blue, but it's probably not the best idea. And I'm sticking with these larger shapes right now, really just trying to get all of these shadows tied together. I think people overestimate my ability to multitask, because I'm getting text messages from my mom that are saying, what time? What time? Do you think that I can run the whole show and tell you what time? The time is now. I don't bother people when I'm not doing something. I gave people absolutely no warning that I was doing this. I gave people 30 seconds notice. Hey, I'm going to do this thing. If you're not busy, go on there. If you are busy, then that's all good. I don't want to make people feel obligated, but it's helpful if I can reach out to a few people that can let me know, like, if things are working. Abby, hello. Hello, Abby. Abby's here. See, Abby, I knew I could depend on you. I'm just going to type Abby. So Abby is here, and no notice but your work. Yes, that's right. See, I knew that I can count on you. You know, I mean, I don't expect my mom to be able to figure out. She just figured out how to get onto the Twitch streams when I was doing those, and then she kept asking me, when are you going to do another one of those Twitch streams? When are you going to do another one of those Twitch streams? When's that going to happen again? And I was like, Mom, I don't have time for that right now. I'm trying to move into this new place. I got all kinds of stuff going on. I just can't do it. And then I was like, you know what? Twitch is great. I thought it was really cool. I like the interface. I like the way that you can interact with an audience. I think there's some potential there to build a following. But then I'm looking over at YouTube going, wait a second, I've already put a ton of time and energy into this YouTube situation. What if I stream on YouTube? And once I stream on YouTube, the video stays there. If the video stays there, that's a bonus, because on Twitch, the video doesn't stay there. It goes away after a very short period of time. So, sorry, Mom, to switch up the technology on you, but it is what it is. Thank you, Abby, for coming here. A slight hum in the background. So, the slight hum definitely isn't an air conditioner because I'm sweating already, and it's only gotten up to 80 today. Let me see if I could dial that in a bit. Maybe if I reposition this mic. I'm serious mustache. Yeah, I'm growing a beard. Unless you're talking about Lucius Malfoy, but he's clean shaven. Oh, that was bad. Abby, I don't know. You're not a Harry Potter fan, are you? You're not one of those Harry Potter people. I got into it recently, and I never really got it. I was like, I don't know. I don't get this Harry Potter thing, but my daughter was into it, and I was like, yeah, that's like our thing that we watch together. So this character is from Harry Potter. The mustache is mine. You read all the books. Sounds like feedback. Oh, that's ugly. Let me think what I can do about that. I'll try to dial it in. Let me see what color that is. It is blue. Is that better? Or still bad? You trying to help? Yeah, no, you are helping. I definitely need to know that, because when I play it back and it sounds ugly, that's bad. You can't yell at me. You can yell at me. You just put all caps when you're in the chat trying to yell. You throw your all caps in there, and that's YouTube live streaming shouting. So yeah, don't yell at me. I'm still trying to get this all figured out, all dialed in. You know what I might do is actually get rid of this stupid mic that's here and turn on one of my other ones. I think that might be the way to go. I could probably cut down on the background noise if I do that. But there's nothing really. Oh, you know what it might be? It might be this LED light that's right. What happens when I do that? My arm goes in front of the thing. It might be the LED light. Let me try to adjust this a bit. Now I'm hearing a hum. It's driving me crazy. I move that this way. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it improves. I don't know how it's going to improve on its own, but hopefully it improves at some point, and I'm just going to keep drawing. So I had pretty much the worst day today, and I figured, you know what, we might as well cap it off with an epic fail on our first live stream from the new studio, since it really started off bad and then just kept getting worse. I can tell you all about it. Why not? That's what we do here. We share on the live stream. That's important to chat about our successes and our failures. So this morning I thought, first day of spring break, I am going to go in and I'm going to do some work. It's going to be terrific. I'm going to turn on the lights over here. I got a project that has to be done. Turn it off for a second and let's see. It's not that loud. It's a wee bit annoying in my ears. If I turn off the mic, then how are you going to hear me? If I turn it off and turn it back on again. I don't know. I tried adjusting it down here, but you know what I'm going to do? For the next one, I promise the audio will be better because I'm going to bring in a different microphone, okay? But I'm glad you told me that, because if that is a wee bit annoying, then I want to fix that for sure. I don't want people to be annoyed. I had this really cool thing going on in the background here with the TV. It was, it just went off. It was like a screensaver. I gotta get some LED lights around the back of that TV, I guess. It's the LED light. It probably is. I'll move that too. Oh yeah, I got my YouTube channel on the TV in the background. So that'll be fun. Okay. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I get up this morning and everybody's got school and work. I'm on my spring break. They had their spring break already. And my dog has had diarrhea for the last couple days. So he's a pitiful little thing. And I've basically been up all night taking him out like 4 times. He'll go out every 2 hours. He'll be crying. And I'll take him out and then he'll run and he'll like wiggle his butt back and forth and find a spot and just poop like liquid. It's really disgusting. Like you can't even pick it up. So, been trying to get him to eat and trying to get him to keep drinking water and whatever. And then my wife says, well, you take him to the vet, right? So the vet, there's never any appointments. So her idea is to go to a animal hospital that's not as close to my house, but whatever. So you don't need appointments. You just go there. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take care of this. I drop my daughter off at school, pack the dog up. We go out to the animal hospital, stand in line for about 15, 20 minutes, get to the line. She checks us in. She says it's going to be an hour and 15-minute wait. So we hang out in a parking lot and in my vehicle, and then we're walking around and we're just doing our thing, and it's just me and the dog wasting the entire day. It's an hour and a half. In an hour and a half, they call me. I go back into a room. They ask me what's wrong with the dog. I tell them what's wrong with the dog. Sounds like an amp, like when they do a sound check. Segfault, what's going on? Thanks for showing up. Well, Segfault is my tech support, my audio support agent. So hopefully he'll be able to help me work this out. I guess maybe what I could do, my friends, is throw on a different microphone. We might as well. Let's just give this a shot. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to a different microphone. So this makes for good TV. Wireless lavalier. We're going to get fancy. We're going to get fancy here, my friends. Like an amp, really? I mean, it's that loud? Is it like, whoo, the whole time? Like deafening? Or still just a wee bit annoying? I've actually seen some pretty bad reviews about this microphone that I'm using, but it was already after I had it, so that's the problem. Let's see. It's a low hum. All right, I'm going to try to eliminate all of that right now. As soon as I turn this on. Okay. So now I'm going to turn this down. All right, Abby, how is it now? Can you hear me now? Is it better? It's not as annoying as you not telling me how the dog is. Yeah, the dog is fine. So I'll just go ahead and jump right to the end of that story. The dog is fine. There's nothing wrong with the dog. 1, 2, check. Check. 1, 2. Hello, lavalier. It's perfect. All right. So back to my story. My wife says take the dog to the animal hospital because we can never get an appointment at the vet. It takes forever. Fine. Drive out there. 25, 30 minutes in line, get to the front. They tell me it's going to be an hour and 15. It's more like an hour and a half. I go to a gas station to get the dog water. I try to get him to drink. I'm trying to get him to stay hydrated. It's just me and the dog. And the whole time, I feel bad for my dog, but I also feel bad for myself. I'm like, wait a minute. I had all this ambition to get all this stuff done. It's like, when your kids get sick out of the blue, you're not going to be angry at your children for being sick, or your pets, not their fault. But you're like, there goes that day. Like, I knew it already. I knew today was going to be a total bust. So we're there all day. They get us in. They give us she gives us like probiotics for the dog. I get like his flea and tick medication for the next 6 months, heartworm medicine. I give him a bag of his poop, and they're going to send it out to a lab to make sure that there's nothing seriously wrong. But I figured that's what it was going to be. It's going to be just like a sensitive stomach. This mic is way more sensitive. It's better, meaning better, right? It's not like blasting your eardrums out or anything. We're good. 2 thumbs up on the audio. Excellent condition. I really dig that part of YouTube. When you're streaming, it actually says on there, yeah, way better. It says excellent condition. Your stream is in excellent condition. Twitch did not give me that information. So I'll keep an eye on the chat and just kind of keep things going. And again, what I'm trying to do here is test out this equipment because I want to move the stream from Twitch to YouTube, because I already kind of have an audience on YouTube. And the Twitch thing, I'll leave it for the video gamers. I always felt like I was in the wrong territory anyway. Like, as people would watch it and be like, "What is this art guy doing on Twitch? This is game space over here." So yes, to go ahead with that, I'm at the animal hospital all day. I literally burned 4 hours and almost $400 by the time it was done with medication and the stuff that he needed anyway. So I was, I wasn't as angry because I would have had to spend half of that anywho. So, $400 later in 4 hours, realizing that you were actually even muffled before. Yeah, I'm going to throw this mic away, I think. It's a Rode video mic that's like a on-camera shotgun mic, and it's caca. It's not good. There's really no reason for me to use it, I guess. As long as I keep spare batteries here, I could use this lavalier mic, and I've got the camera and the light and everything's good. And it might actually be, if I move this LED light, it might not have the humming noise. But I think that this microphone is quite a bit better than the other one anyway. So it's all good. So I wasted 4 hours. I wasted I spent $400. I got nothing done. Then, as if that didn't ruin my day enough, my next move was, there's a bunch of other things that went wrong today, and I'm trying to like replay them in my mind, but it was all I had to drop off one of my kids, pick up one of my kids. That was not a big deal. That's the usual. Oh, this is a bad one. And this probably incriminates me in a way. It was an accident, but it didn't work out for me. So I bought a TV from Costco, and it's a Samsung TV. Well, I bought the TV less than a year ago, but it was over the 90 days of the return situation. And the Wi-Fi broke on the TV. So basically, this TV is garbage. Nowadays you need Wi-Fi on a TV because, you want to use it to stream your stuff and connect to your whatever, your Netflix and your this and your that. So the Wi-Fi broke, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to need a new TV. I'm not super thrilled about this TV that I can't bring back, so I got a new TV. I got the same model. Well, I brought the TV back to Costco, and somebody came and were like, the serial numbers don't match on this TV. This is a TV you bought a year ago. This is not the TV you just bought. You can't return this. And I was like, this is why I don't do things like this, because when I do things like this, people just see me coming. Like, I could never get away with anything in life. So if you're ever trying to do something that you need to kind of, be a bit sneaky, don't bring me. Because they see me walking in, they're like, we know this guy's going to fold under pressure here. If it was my wife, she would have just started yelling and screaming and telling them they're going to take the TV back, and they would have been like, okay, ma'am, thank you, see you later. But they were nice about it. They're like, look, we get it. You just bought that TV less than a year ago, and it was a $300 TV. It should work. I understand that you're not happy about the fact that it doesn't work, but you can't return the TV. It's past the return date. And you definitely cannot return the old TV in the new TV box. So go away, sucker. Vet bills are no joke. That is a true statement, my friend. That is a true statement. So Segfault, I am going to be conducting these types of streams. So if you would like to come do a hangout situation, you are welcome to come by and run some tech support, give me an assist on the matter, make sure everything is all good. We've talked about it, so my door is always open. I'm always interested in getting some help, because this kind of thing, it can get like super overwhelming, and just like, it's just a lot. It's a lot trying to run the show, run the technology, and make sure everything's working, and you're also trying to create artwork as you're going. But I mean, it's fun. I always enjoy doing it, and when everything works well, you can't beat it. But as soon as something goes poorly, it's game over. So anyway, I went to Costco then and did some shopping after I did the walk of shame past the customer service desk, put the TV back in my truck, and went in and spent another $100 and some on groceries anyway, even though I was kind of salty about the fact that I now got to figure out what the heck I'm going to do with a broken TV that's less than a year old. Maybe I'll write a threatening letter to Samsung. Yeah, so next week's cool. This week is my break, so I'm going to be spending a lot of time kind of doing my thing in here, but I'm hoping moving forward that this will be a regular thing, that I can reach out to people, let them know that it's happening, go on a pretty consistent schedule. Hopefully people can hang out for a bit if you're available. It's always fun. I always like seeing, it's always interesting to me how different people meet through this. Check with my credit card. They might do, yeah, they do. Actually, you're right. The lady at the, it's I don't know, it's not a big TV. It's probably like, it's a bit smaller than the one I got in my background. 30 something. I don't know. I really didn't pay attention. But yeah, the lady there was like, look, take this number, because when you purchase electronics with your Costco credit card, you have this like concierge service that provides you an extended warranty automatically. So they might actually just take the TV back. She just needs authorization that they're going to take it back. But I remember people doing stuff like that with like vacuum cleaners, right? Like they were like, oh, I bought this vacuum cleaner 3 years ago. It broke. I'm just going to go get a new vacuum cleaner, put the old one in the box, and bring it back. And there you go. Right? Like, that's your own warranty. Because I never buy extended warranties, but lesson learned there. They're pretty sharp over at Costco nowadays. Chaps my ass, but what you gonna do? Well, I'm working on a new layer here. This is, I think this serves as a pretty interesting look at the piece. Let me make this window a bit bigger. If I go full screen with this, and we can probably move these layers over a bit. Maybe we'll even put them on the other window. There we go. That gives us a bit more real estate. Close that out. Zoom in. Aha. So let me show you the before and after situation here. So before it looked like this, and after it looks like this. So I just kind of went across the thing and made some notes and cleaned up some of those shadow shapes, and I think we got a pretty nice drawing that's starting to evolve here. It's come a long way, only in like 20 minutes, right? Pretty good, pretty good. I mean, the drawings take me probably double the time just because of the fact that, you know, I'm talking and blabbing about Costco and puppies and vet bills. Yeah, but they are not messing around with the vet bills. That's for sure. All right, I thought I learned my lesson the last time with the dog. I went in there and they were like, "Yep, your puppy needs to poop." Got home, he pooped, and I still paid them $400. I was like, "You just charged me $400 to tell me that this puppy needed to poo." That's just not nice. But that place was jumping. There was so many dogs in and out of there, hour and a half wait. And I mean, every person that walked up to that thing, and they were just waiting in line with their credit cards. That'll be 100, that'll be 100, that'll be 500, that'll be 200, that'll be 100, that'll be 300. I was like, boom, 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 boom. I'm thinking, I'm in the wrong business. I should have been a puppy hospital. So now my dog is eating chicken and rice for a couple days. And he's going to take some probiotics that I sprinkled on his little food. They gave him an IV too. The lady said free of charge, but I think she charged me anyway. I don't know what she meant by free of charge, but it still costed me for that IV. She's like, "I'm going to put some fluids in this little guy." I was like, "Well, okay, that sounds nice. Free of charge? Okay, sure." I think he should be looking at us. It's a little bit more intimidating, looking down at us. I don't know if I'll bring this to a finish. I'm not really going to stay on for a long time. I just wanted to give everything a test, and Abby came to the rescue by letting me know that my audio situation was less than satisfactory. We fixed that up. Now we're painting some Malfoy. And if there's anything that you guys want to talk about, feel free to throw it down in the chat if you're here. And the people that rewatch this video later will be able to enjoy that. So, what's on your mind, my friends? Let me know. I'm here. I could put on music too. That would be pretty awesome of me. I did not do that. Cut the background noise with some free streaming music. I think it's still okay to do that without getting a copyright strike. I found a couple of channels that promise not to get you shut down or get your video muted or whatever such nastiness is done to people who are streaming illegally. I mean, like music. What am I going to do with this drawing? I don't know. Just kind of randomly picked something last time, and just to kind of get some content out there. And now this time I'm wondering, what shall I do with this? Turn it into a full painting? Maybe. There is some stuff that I want to try with brushes, so I'll probably do that. I wouldn't do that during a stream. I wouldn't be like experimenting with new stuff if I'm not sure it's going to work. That could be a disaster. I think, let's see. excellent connection. Things are going great, it says. I don't know how this counts for my like viewership on YouTube as well. Like people kind of pop in, pop out. The last one that I did like a few weeks ago, a month ago, that one got like, I don't know, 50 views or so after the fact. So that was kind of cool. And again, that's something that you can't really do on Twitch. So, which is why I kind of like this, hello, mother. Which is why I kind of like this streaming on YouTube situation. You can't be incognito on YouTube. It actually tells us all who you are, where before people would have not known who you are. But you're here, you made it. I did not reply with what time because the what time was implied. The what time was now. I'm doing this now just because I wanted to see if this worked. And I think it works. I think you can see me and you can hear me, and we're here together doing our thing with 3 concurrent viewers. 3 concurrent viewers like you. Zoom out a little bit here. Let's see. That's looking pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know, what should I work on? The edges, keep this as a monochromatic drawing, or should I start to add a little bit of color? Could render out maybe one little portion of it. That might be a good idea. Let me switch over to the little picture here. We'll move him over. It's not letting me. Gotta unlock it, that's why. All right, so we're gonna move this picture over here. Oh, that was weird. Ooh, it passes through his face. Ah, it's magic. Let me put this on top. I've got to use that pure ref thing as well. I think that's pretty cool. Pure ref is like a separate application where I could have my reference on top and a thing, which isn't Photoshop. Can't hear real well. Uh-oh. Turn up your phone or whatever you're watching it on. Abby said I was too loud, so I hope you can hear it now. I hope that's on your end and not mine. I don't know. It looks like I'm in the green and in the yellow. So I could maybe turn up a little bit. Let's see here. Turn up, turn up, turn up. 1, 2, check, 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 check. It's about how loud I'll talk. Hopefully that's better. And the only reason I know how to turn up like that is because of Segfault. So Segfault, if you're still out there, you're the man. I had no idea how to run most of this stuff. I was just plugging things in randomly, trying to figure it out a little bit at a time. And he helped me out quite a bit with getting set up with that. All right, so we're going to render out this eye. This is what I would say would be the dominant eye in this composition. It's probably the focal point, the thing that's most important. It's more important than the other eye. You don't want them both to be equally grabbing the same amount of attention. So I'm going to go ahead and render this one a bit more than the other one. And the other one I'll leave it kind of loose, which is, one, a technique that saves you a bit of time, and 2, a technique that's just good for the composition. And I'm actually going to use a little bit of this complementary blue color here for the darkest shadows, just because I think it looks cool the way that it plays off of the brown. Audio's fine now. It was just a touch low, but not bad. And the computer might be the problem. Oh, okay. Yes, thank you, everyone. And again, I sent out some private invitations, personal invitations rather, not private. This is a public stream, not a private one, but to some people that I thought would be able to honestly tell me if things were not working. Because sometimes when people come in, they would just like look at something like this and turn it off if it was annoying and it wasn't working right, and not ever say anything. But I knew you guys would say something if it wasn't working. And I have all various levels of technology users out there. I have the ones that don't know, and the ones that know more than I ever will. So a nice range of people, because I don't expect everybody that comes across one of my streams to be a technology expert. So I want to make sure it's as simple and straightforward and is working as smoothly as possible. So hopefully the video is working well, hopefully the audio is working well. And I'm excited about making some new stuff in this new studio and doing some live streams like this one, and some big projects that I'm working on. I've got all kinds of different camera angles set up, and I want to do some interviews. So I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're knocking on the door of summer. Got the spring break happening right now, so that gave me a little bit of time to try out some stuff. And summer, I should be in good position to know what I'm doing, so that I can just focus on the content and not focus on the delivery. I think that's it's one of the big setbacks, where there's a lot of people that we think would be really good at something, or they have like something really awesome to offer. Like they're really awesome at knitting, right? But they don't know how to deliver that content online. So they kind of get caught up in the technology, and they just they give up, or they say that's not for me. So I want to get everything in a situation where I don't even have to think about the technology anymore, and then it can just be about the content. It can just be about the art. And if you guys have any ideas of what you would like to see in terms of projects for streaming, let me know, and I'll add it to my list. I got a little list, a book here with ideas for videos that I'd like to put out there. So feel free to be active in the chat. I'm used to it when people are not, though, because I have been teaching remote high school for many months now. So I am an online personality as my day job. I am an infotainer, and the engagement is not great. Usually I'm talking to myself, and it makes me a little bit sad, but I keep pressing on. I keep doing my thing, doing the best that I can. Sometimes you get a little sad, but you dust yourself off and try again. I think somebody would make that lyrics in a song. Don't y'all think? All right. It's been done before. Okay, so a little bit of reflected light here. I kind of bounced around. I got away from that focal point. But I think it's looking pretty good. I think I need a lighter value here, just above that upper lid. Kind of round it off this way. like so. I don't know how Mondays are for people. Mondays are a little bit rough for me usually, but I figured, whatever. I'm gonna give this a shot and see who shows up. If you guys like Mondays, I can try to make that into a regular time slot where we can hang out, do some artwork. I am gonna have to get a freaking air conditioner in here though, because I'm telling you, it's not even that hot, and I am already cooking here. Maybe because I never took off these sleeves. Whew. Just breathe. This is no big deal. It's what you do all day. Talk to a computer screen about art. I think we'll use the blender brush a little bit. I've recently come across some people that don't like the mixer brush, but the mixer brush became like my go-to. I guess it's more important that you learn how to control a tool in Photoshop when you're, whatever you're trying to make. And once you learn how to control it, it doesn't really matter if other people use that tool, which is why I think like buying brushes from people, when people buy the like brush packs and things, usually I'll get one of those, and I don't use all of them. It's like you find one that works for you and your process, and that's it. I'm going to merge this down here. I think it's good. And then I'm going to go ahead and start smoothing this stuff out. And if you go with the form, like this rounded curve right here, it gives you a nice hard edge. And if you go against the form, it gives you a soft edge. And I'm using a brush shape that's kind of like rectangular, like a vertical rectangle. And that is allowing me to get a certain look that I like with my paintings. And again, you would have to figure out what works for you. So it's like pushing and pulling the pixels here back and forth until you finally settle on exactly what you're looking for. And this would be the story of this piece if I wanted to take it to like a full out finish. I would just spend many, many hours blending all this stuff together. I'm peeking up at the chat every now and again to see what's going on out there. It looks like we've got a few viewers, so thanks for checking out the video. We're drawing or painting. I don't know, I think you would call this painting now at this point. It just feels a little bit more like digital painting than it does digital drawing, but whatever, could be the same thing. So I appreciate you clicking on here to see what's going on. And again, if anybody has any questions about anything or wants to talk about anything in particular, that's why I'm online today. So feel free to let me know. And I'm going to watch this back later so I can get a better idea of what was going on with the audio, what was going on with the video, and then I'll just play around with the settings, and hopefully the next time I do this there will be no issues. It will be just 100% smooth. 100% smooth operation. I don't know if you guys can hear the sound effects there of the tap, tap, drag, drag, drag. I'm drawing on a Cintiq pressure-sensitive tablet. If you're an artist, digital artist, and you don't have one of these, start saving up for one, because I think it's the game changer when it comes to digital art. There are some nice tablets that are not as expensive, that are not monitors, but I think that this is, it's the ultimate thing that you're going to want to try to get into your, it's going to make you better and it's going to make you faster at what you do. And it just makes the whole process a lot more intuitive and feels a lot more like painting. But I did actually, you could hear the taps. I was talking to somebody about digital art, and I think the question they asked was, do you recommend that I learn how to paint and draw and paint traditionally before I learn to draw and paint digitally? And I think that is a really excellent question, and I think they're kind of tapping into something that is a bigger idea, a bigger thought about art. And my answer to that was absolutely yes, because if you learn how to draw and paint with digital tools, which all it is it's a digital tool, like as if, a physical tool like a paintbrush and paint and canvas. If you learn with that, you really, like the dexterity that you develop, the workflow that you develop is geared only toward digital. I don't think digital translates over to traditional. So I think if you give a digital artist that's 100% digital and learned digital art, never really drew or paint traditionally, if you give them paint and a paintbrush and a canvas, they're going to look at you like you're crazy. But I think if you give a painter digital tools, they're a little bit confused at first, and I think the learning curve is a little steeper, because obviously if you hand somebody brushes and paints, they know what you're getting at. And with digital tools, it might take a little bit more education. So the learning curve's a little steeper, but I think they're going to be able to produce better work than vice versa, the other way around, if that makes sense. Because I think that the skills that you learn traditionally can be applied to digital, but the digital skills I don't think are as applicable in the other direction. It's a little bit harder to learn it in reverse order. In my opinion, of course. I mean, you guys may disagree. You may have other opinions on the matter, but yeah. I think it would be a really cool experiment if we can do kind of like a Bill and Ted thing, and we can go back in time with digital technologies, and we could give those tools, put them in the hands of the great artists throughout history, and teach them how to use it. I couldn't even imagine where we would be if you took the genius of those artists and combine it with the power of the tools that we now have. Wow. Imagine that. Maybe that's an idea for a new movie. When people start making movies again. Of course. I got one of those clicky keyboards. One of my kids, one of my boys got this keyboard as a gift, and it annoyed him. The clicky keys annoyed him, so I was like, I'll take it. I kind of like the clicky keys. Sort of fun. So I've gone from this this dominant eye on this side, and I'm now trying to spread that around a little bit. And I've got this blue that's coming from those deeper shadows, which, I'm not really concerned with realism when it comes to color. And I've talked about this quite a bit in my classes. I don't know how much of that I've talked about on video, on Twitch or on YouTube, but the most important thing in a piece of artwork is the value. If you can nail the value, then the color is just sort of like playtime. It's like you can pretty much do whatever you want with it, and it's going to read correctly, and it's going to read believably. So when you look at this, if the values are correct with what I'm doing here, like meaning whatever is dark is supposed to be that dark, whatever is light is supposed to be that light. If that's correct, I could use any color that I want. Like this blue, you just accept it. Your brain just accepts it as the viewer. You go, oh, well, it's blue, but you must have meant to put blue there, and I'm supposed to, that's more of a feeling. So I think value kind of tells the story, and color makes it interesting. So if you're telling a story of whatever, and you want to get enough of the facts so that people can understand it, but then you don't want it to be boring, you want it to be interesting, you go ahead and you add color and let the color do that. You can be really playful with the color. And not so concerned with accuracy, I guess. Taking a bunch of liberties with the color, but not so much with the value. Really not at all with the value. Value is truth. Color is fiction. Non-fiction and fiction. That makes sense. All right, let me blend out this nose and soften some of these edges. The form kind of rolls, so notice my brush strokes are kind of rolling with. My hand is moving in that same motion that his nose would be moving in. So here, toward the end of his nose is a little bit more of a rounded form. Like so. I wonder if I would get like super nervous if all of a sudden there was, 187 viewers. I just picked a number. If I would just lock up, it would be like stage fright, right? You go out and there's a big audience, and you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. There's so many people. But what I usually do is just imagine that I know everyone. Like these are all people that I know, which is actually true in this particular case, but I tell myself that, and then you just kind of cut through that little bit of nervousness that you might have, that little bit of hesitation. He's got an interesting nose, this guy. I forget the actor's name. It's really cool in this part, though, the part that he played this character. I thought he was right on. I think I've talked about that before, too, in some of my streams, that I think the casting directors are some of the most important, but, the unsung heroes of film, the people that decide who is going to play the part. So when we watched the movie, we were just like, oh yeah, that's who it was supposed to be. Duh, I could have done that. Yeah, in hindsight, you could have done that, but when the movie came out, was being made, was being cast, you may or may not have figured that out. That's always a cool thing to look at too, is like like a lot of movies, like who was supposed to play this part, but then it ended up going to this person, and then we all know, and you end up knowing the character through that actor, and you're like, how could it have ever been that? How can they have been so stupid and not known that it was supposed to be this person all along? I think I remember hearing something about Harrison Ford was not supposed to be Han Solo at some point. And now, if Harrison Ford wasn't Han Solo, I doubt we ever would have had Indiana Jones. And who would it have been? But then it was always another person. Would that person have become Harrison Ford? I don't know. Just like a rabbit hole. All right. Well, my friends, thank you for coming and checking this out. Special thanks to Abby and Segfault for helping me fix my bunk audio situation early on and make sure that I know that I need to go to this microphone and not the other one because it's not as good. And I want to try to, like I said, start making these things happen a little bit more often on YouTube. But this is going to be the place. I'll give you a little heads up to let you know that it's going to be happening. Feel free to watch this back if you missed the beginning, and you can kind of see how the project evolved, even sliding the fast forward button from beginning to end will reveal what I was trying to do. But he's starting to look like Lucius Malfoy, I think. Hopefully you think so too. All right, my friends, I'll see you next time. Be good.